The training tonight, guys, and the focus, what I thought to speak about, the title of the message is Refueling for Flight. Basically, kind of like doing a self check-in and like reevaluating, like where you're at, what do I need to move forward. So to sum it up in these 3 steps, step 1 is review. Step 2 is to refocus. And step 3 is to replan. So we're just going to go through those 3 steps. Step 1 being review. Basically a check-in, like check in with yourself and your business. We are our business, right? So if we're not mentally in the right state of mind, if there's, stresses from life, if we're all going through different situations, all of that stuff could have a weight on us, and it could affect our business. So the key thing with this is just to do a self check-in, like what isn't working for me, what is working for me, like point things out. What's going on in my life that I need to kind of grasp a hold of? What have I succeeded at in the past month, the past year? So just kind of like an evaluation, what has worked for your business, what hasn't worked. The question being, is what I'm doing today bringing me to my goals for the future? So that kind of mental check-in with yourself. Step 2 being to refocus. So revisit your goals and see if the goals are still the same. So we all write our goals down. If you haven't written your goals down or things you want to accomplish and reach, definitely recommend writing them down. That way you could, like daily affirmations, reading them to yourselves, proclaiming it, to be organized and know where you want to head. If you haven't written goals down in general, definitely write down your goals and what you want to accomplish. But if you have wrote down goals in the past, revisiting the goals could be something good, because you might have different goals now compared to what you wrote down. So it's good to revisit those and to also see if are you on track to reach those, or is your mind, is your heart where you're at? Do you want to be somewhere else? And in rewriting and revisiting your goals, I always think it's better to aim high than it is to aim low. In revisiting your goals, let's say, and rewriting new goals, I don't recommend writing new goals because you aimed too high in your previous set of goals, right? Maybe you aimed high in your goals previously, but something in you made you write that down. Something in you drove you to say, hey, I'm going to go for that goal and I'm going to reach it. Even if it's impossible, there's something in you that wants that. So in rewriting your goals, don't change your mind or write a new set because you haven't reached them or they seem too hard. It's better to aim high than to aim low, right? So don't scale down, scale up, and revisit what it is that you want to go after. So in writing your goals, if you're revisiting them, write down your goals, be specific, identify the challenges that could slow you down, and then once you could identify the challenges, then plan accordingly to overcome the challenges. All right, so I'm going to say that again. So like, write down the goals, be specific, identify the challenges that could slow you down, plan accordingly so that way you could overcome the challenges. So that's refocusing. Whether it's with old goals or new goals, knowing where we're headed. And then step 3 is to replan. plan strategically how you're going to reach those goals. Know what you need to do each day, each week, and each month in order to reach that. So, for example, for me, I do a lot of business on social media. So, a long-term goal with Instagram could be to reach a certain follower account, to be working with, let's say, some influencers online, kind of like the bigger goal of where I want to take it. But my daily goal for social media, to write them down, to kind of have a checklist of keeping yourself accountable, could be to make, let's say, 2 or 3 posts a day. Write down, replan to put yourself out there in a story so people could see who's behind the page. Make sure you direct message at least 10 people today through your social media page. So different goals like that, daily, weekly, and monthly, in order to reach the bigger plan that you have. So yeah, review, refocus, and replan. I know summer is like it's interesting time because we enjoy the weather, we're relaxing, enjoying parties with friends and family, still working, right? Because we're in control of our business. I remember Jason saying one of the best thing about our business, and then also the worst thing about our business, is that we're in control of what we put into it. So we could have moments where we really thrive with the business because we could just be active, tentative, and really put all of our energy into it. But then we could also take a step back and relax, and then we're not active. We're not doing money-making activities. So I guess it's an amazing time of the year because summer's over. Hope everyone enjoyed their summer, and we could just kind of refocus to go into the end quarter of the year, and end 2020 with a bang. So first step is to review, to check in with yourself, bring everything. If something's wrong with you, don't leave it inside. Because when you leave it inside or don't talk about it, don't surface the problem or issue that could be going on mentally, physically, or emotionally. If you don't surface it, it could hinder you and affect you. Whatever it may be, just speak it, do that self-check-in to know what it is that's going on, and then you could approach it and handle it. Then once you do that, refocus on your goals. And then once you have your goals, plan accordingly to reach it. So I'm going to be doing this myself, writing new goals for myself for the remainder of 2020. And yeah, if you guys want to do the same, I think it would be productive for everybody. So that's kind of what I have for tonight. Jay, do you want to add in on anything I spoke about?
Yeah. I mean, really powerful stuff, Chris. I love that you talk about writing it down. I mean, writing it down is a key. It's a huge key. Even the book that I always recommend, Think and Grow Rich, it talks about the power of writing down your goals and putting down your affirmations and your goals down on a piece of paper. You know, there's even it's almost like a spiritual thing when you actually put it down on a piece of paper. It becomes much more real than just leaving it in your head. You know, and when it becomes more real, and more, it becomes more intentional. It's actually able to manifest in your life. You know, so the things that you want to create in your life, put it down on a piece of paper. I mean, I'm such a huge believer in that. You know, so. A lot of stuff that we've learned from reading books about the law of attraction, you know, not just writing down your goals, but even having the visual representations of your goals is such a powerful practice to do, you know. So actually, when we go to California, I'm going to redo my vision board. And I have a vision board that's a couple years old, somewhere over here, but and we've achieved a bunch of things that are on our vision board. But after a couple of years, it's time to redo it, and that's why I also love, Chris, that where you talk about reassessing and making adjustments to your goal. You know, because reaching our big goal, reaching the things that we want to achieve in life, you know, it's kind of like a GPS, you know. You want to get over here, you're over here, right? And then you're getting to where you want to go, but every so often there could be a roadblock, right? Or there could be an accident that doesn't allow you to go to a straight path towards your goal. So when that happens with your GPS, you need to reroute. You need to go this way and this way and then this way and then this way and this way until you actually achieve your goal. You know, so I mean that's entrepreneurship in general. You're constantly, consistently readjusting, rerouting, replanning to ultimately achieve that final destination. You know, that's why it's such a it's such a powerful thing to have something like your goal on a piece of paper, because we also get distracted throughout our life. There's so many things that take us away from our goal. That's why that's one of the main factors why me and Nelly don't watch TV, because everything that we do, we do because it gets us closer to our goals. You know, so like we are super focused, and we know exactly what we want in life. So when something comes along that distracts us from what we really want in life, we don't do it, you know. And life, there's so many shiny objects that will try to pull you away from what you really want in life, you know. So you need to know what you really want, so that when the shiny object comes along, it doesn't stray you away from what you really want in life, you know. Because there's so many people who say yes, they want freedom, yes, they want to achieve amazing things, but if that's what they really want, then why are they getting sidetracked and doing all these other things that doesn't get them over here, you know? So it's very important to be very concrete and specific. That's a very important key, is the specificity of what you want in life. And for those who don't know specifically what they want in life, because that's another like really interesting thing, is that a lot of people don't they've never actually thought about it, you know, because we fall into a path where people are telling us how we should live our life, and they tell us what we should do, what we should have, and what's obtainable for us, you know. So some people don't even think about that stuff and don't even know what's available to them. So for those people, we have a training on the 6aSuccess.com, really incredible training. If you have not done it yet, I highly suggest it. Let me pull it up really quick, Joey. I don't want to take too much of your time. Is that okay if I just pull it up real quick?
No, go ahead. Of course.
Okay. Awesome. Let me just pull it up. If you go to 6aSuccess.com, you guys see my share screen? Okay, awesome. right over here, build your dream. I mean, this is such a powerful exercise. You go over here and read a couple of these quotes, and then you do this perfect day in your dream life. I mean, this is such a powerful exercise to kind of get you to a place where you're really specific about what you really want to create in your life. And our business is so amazing because it really gives us the avenue and the vehicle to achieve the life that we really want to create, that real true dream life. I mean, our main mentor, Romy Videra, that's exactly what he created for himself, using eMagic as his vehicle. And every single one of us has the ability to do the same exact thing, okay? But it's very important to be specific about what you actually want to create. So go to 6aSuccess.com and go to that Build Your Dream, and I highly recommend to do that exercise. All right, I don't want to take too much time, Joey. The floor, you got the floor.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I love what you're adding on to what Chris said. I think it was kind of like a wake-up call, or just I think we all need to hear that. I think that's for our own psychological aspect of how we are humans, our why, right? Getting refocused. I mean, everything you said, review, refocus, replan, that's excellent. It's pretty on point. I think when we have things written down, where we know why we want something and how we get there, we a lot of times we start off that way, and then along the way we kind of lose it. So it's definitely good to talk about it. Whoever's on, I hope everyone's taking some notes, because that was awesome, guys. That was awesome. Yes, so nothing crazy. I wanted to just kind of ask a question, and you could jot it down in the comments, and then I'll go from there. But the question is what struggle do you face, you personally, face in your organization, in your business, right? Is it prospecting? Is it following up with people? Do you have trouble? Do you feel like you lose them along the way? Do you feel like you have trouble, closing the deal? Is it something completely different? I wanted you to verbalize it so that it could be something that we can call it out for what it is, and be able not only to identify it, but then be able to see, all right, what is something that we can do to work on it, So as you're putting that in the chat, I just want to share something with you guys really quick. I started in November last year, right? And when I first started, for the first 3.5 months, I didn't get nobody. All right. So, but I was working it. Now, anybody could say, well, I could always do better, and I could always do more. But I, in the past, have done 2 other network marketing companies that I quit pretty fast. I don't know about you, if you've been in any other network marketing company in the past, but the majority of people, right, Jay? The majority of people only make 1 sale, or make no sales, and that's just because of the tenacity or the aspect of rejection that people just can't face, right? So for the first 3.5 months, I didn't get nobody, but I said to myself that I just wouldn't give up. I said to myself, I wanted to prove to myself that I wouldn't give up like I gave up very quickly when I didn't see results in the previous 2 network marketing companies that I did years ago. But sales in general, if you're not, in it, sometimes you don't realize it. Real quick, Jason said, my issue is balancing family and business. The numbers is in network marketing is the most do only 1 or 3 sales before quitting. Right, correct. That's exactly what I'm saying, Jay. There's statistics for that, and when it comes to people that we know, and again, I'm one of those statistics in the past that if I didn't get 1 person after a certain amount of period of time, you quit, right? Because we're used to creating, I guess you could say, a paycheck, right? That comes in every week, and we feel like it's kind of secure. It's a guaranteed income per se. So this is a little bit different approach, but the rewards are better at the end. But when you don't see it, you give up quick. Chris said time management, balancing life and business. I can agree with that. It's kind of hard to do that at times, and that's why we need to, writing a schedule and daily action plan helps. But I can relate to that. And Hernandez said, a whole family doubts the business. So I want to get to that really quick, bro. So when I first started, I already had the fear of my family saying this is either a scam or they're just not going to believe in me. Even if it sounds good, it's like if I can convince my family, then it's like a go. And if they don't agree with it, then it's going to be hard for me. But either way, I said to myself, I want to push through it. So I didn't know everything in the beginning. I was constantly asking Jason questions, Chris questions. I called up Yamarin. And so for the first 3.5 months, I reached out to, I think, around 200 people. It could have been more, around 200 people. I had some close ones, I had people come to Jason's house for a demo, but the majority of people just said, no, I'm not interested in the business. And hear me out. A lot of it had to do with me because my skill set wasn't there, right? But I did it anyway, right? Because I can't expect to be amazing anything if I don't at least start, right? And along the way, and again, prospecting for me is my hardest area. So it's that initial hump for me getting through that I struggle with, that rejection, that all those things that it's like, man, right? So for 3.5 months, I didn't get nobody. And there were a few times I wanted to quit. And a few times that I wanted to throw in a towel, but I said, no, I can make this work. My wife pushed me. And I just didn't want to be that guy again in the past that quit so easily, I'm going to check the comments in just a moment. But what I really wanted to point out was just at the end, when I wanted to give up, my family said no, some friends said no, my warm market that I reached out to, said no. And again, this is not everybody. It's just 230 people, 200 people. I almost quit. And then what happened was I reached out to a friend, and it was nonchalant. We had a conversation. This friend lives in Texas. He went to college with me in Florida. And we're having a conversation. He asked me what I'm doing in life. I'm asking what he's doing in life. And then from there, when I said that I'm actually in a home-based business, it's booming right now. It's changing lives. It's an alkaline water technology. If you're interested in creating another stream of income for yourself and you're open to learning more about it, I can send you a quick video or two. So he said yes. And I was like, oh, wow. He said yes. Wow. So, okay, cool. So I followed up with him in a couple of days. Actually, you know what? He reached back out to me because he was highly interested. And so long story short, within like a week or so of just going back and forth, I got my first sale, and it lit me on fire. Like I was so down, but it set me on fire. Honestly, I actually cried. Because my wife was like, yeah, you did it. You didn't give up. And so that first person that I got, everyone knows him. It's Esteban Elias. He's a good friend of mine. I wish he was on tonight. And now Esteban, love the guy, man. He's my first sale. And Esteban, just him alone, okay, has made, I believe, 9 sales. Has sold 9 machines. In Texas, the water is not the greatest. So he sold 9 machines. And again, that's under me. That's partnering with somebody that's building something. And just Jason always told me that the best time to make a sale is right after you make a sale, because your belief is high, you're motivated, And so I was like, all right, I got one. I got two more to become a 2A. Let's go. Let's go. It's possible. Wow, it actually is possible. So some of you guys have gotten one sale your first month, right? First couple of weeks, and you did way better than me. You guys are doing awesome. But long story short, I have, 35 people right now, and I attribute that all to God and just also, persistence and not giving up. There's so much more to occur. But the reason why I get at that is because the aspect I think the majority of us as humans face is rejection. It's not knowing how to connect with people initially, especially after you're done with your warm market. You think, how do I reach people who are in the cold market, right? So I want to talk about that really quick in just a moment. But if you're full-time doing this, or even if you're part-time doing this, the structure of how we go about, as Chris said and Jason said, of our day is vital. So, if you have a day job and it's like, well, how do I fit Kangen in? And how do I go about doing it, when I'm working and I'm trying to build this thing? Or if you're full-time and you want to go all in, what does that look like? So I just wanted to go over really quick what that looks like. And have some practical things, maybe just some things that I've implemented to try to help from the advice of Jason and Chris and Umaran, and there's some things that I aided myself that helped me. Number one, really quick though, is that any sales job, not just Kangen, in network marketing, sales, they all have statistics, meaning the amount of people that you talk to, right? If you only talk to 3 people, right? What is the statistics out of 3 people that all 3 are going to sign up, or one person is going to sign up, right? But if you talk to 10 people, let's say that day or that week, right? You have more of a chance of them buying, right? Now, we have something that is a little bit different. They say in sales that about 50% of people are right for your product. But, with Kangen, it's a little bit different because water, literally everybody needs. So I feel like that 50% is probably like 80%, 90%, right? We have something that I feel like everybody needs. But if you're full-time and you set a goal to say, hey, I'm going to reach out to 10 people a day, 15 people a day, whatever that number is, if you have that number and you write it down, you see it, like they said, you can push for it. Otherwise, you wind up talking to maybe like a person or two and you just forget about it. It's just kind of like not there. You just kind of go with the day and you just lose out. If you're part-time, right, and you have your day job and you feel like, you know what, 5 people a day is doable for me. Okay, 5 people a day. But 5 times 7 is what? You add that up and it adds up to, a bigger number. 10 people a day for 7 days. That's 70 people I reached out to in a week. You're right. You want to write down the follow-ups. So you have a goal for people, for new people you want to prospect. And I've helped and I've written down a goal for follow-ups and then a goal for building the team. So all these things, and again, start somewhere, but the more people you talk to, the more chances you're going to get, right, to get someone. Now, the other aspect of it is this. When I first started, my skill set wasn't the greatest. I didn't know a lot about the company. And guess what? You don't really need to a certain extent. But the better you get and the better that I get at knowing our product, knowing how to talk to people, or knowing the compensation plan, right? You become more comfortable with it and you learn from your mistakes, your failures, things like that. The more of your success rate you're going to get when talking to people. So instead of 1 out of every 10 people, you might get someone to get a machine or join the business. It might be 1 out of every 5 people, right? Even the best, sure, Jason knows. Jason's amazing at this. He's been doing this for 10 years and he still gets no's, right? So even the best out of the best get no's. So I guess to understand, to expect them, right? Go for no, but you will get someone who's right, who's ripe for the picking, for who needs this water to change their life, who's hungry for a change in their life financially, and helping people through the sales process is what's key, right? So we start off with connecting with people, right? And then seeing where they're at in life. What is their pain in their life? Those type of things. And what we need to do is getting them to the next step. So I feel like a lot of us fall through the cracks if we speak to them and then they don't answer us. Well, they're really not going to answer us. We need to follow up with them, right? And Jay always says, like, don't stop at one follow, do it a few times until they say, no, I'm not interested or not, because you never know. A lot of times when people don't answer me, I say, hey, did I lose you? And they say, oh, no, I was just busy. I was busy with work, or I had to do this with my kids, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. But I, in my head, all of a sudden say, they're not interested, or they're ghosting me, right? And reality was, it's not always the case. They're just busy. People are busy. So people don't know that they need certain things, right? They don't know until they know. And so helping them through the sales process helps. Chris said, I followed up with someone for 2 years straight, and finally they got a sale. That's persistence. Yeah, that's awesome. Let me go back real quick before I go forward. A lot of comments here. Good stuff. Wow. Hey, Jay, you want to add anything really quick?
Yeah. I just put in the comments that, I mean, even to this day, I still get no's. I still get stood up for demos. I still get ghosted by people. One of the biggest things that helped me in this business, because it's is sales, is to never have an emotional attachment to the outcomes. Exactly what you said, Joy, about rejection is many people's biggest fear. And that allows people to hold them back, because of that fear of rejection, and to learn how to not have an emotional attachment to that rejection or to the result will allow you to just be like, okay, next, if you get stood up, if you get a no, or if you get ghosted, so it's definitely a different mentality and mindset that the most successful people have, that are able to do that and detach that emotion from the sale or from the result, that allows you to keep firing at a feverish and at a high pace, because in this industry, we do get a lot of no's, and for a lot of people who are not prepared for it, it's defeating. But for the ones who learn that and understand that it's part of the industry, it's part of the business, and you're going to get hundreds of them, you end up building a thick skin for it, and kind of like a bulletproof vest for it. So it doesn't even affect your motivation. It doesn't even affect your drive. It doesn't affect your goal, because it's not stopping you from reaching it. The no's, the fear of the rejection,
right.
It doesn't stop you, and if you never stop, you're guaranteed to hit it. It's simple. It's simple as that. The people who fail are simply the ones who said, you know what, this is too much for me. I'm just gonna go back to the way I was living, because achieving these big things is too difficult for me, and I can't do it. Those are the only ones that fail. The ones like, did I not encounter the same things that the people who've quit and who've failed encounter? I've experienced every single one of them. You know, the only difference between me and the person who failed is I never let it defeat me, and I never quit.
Hmm.
I kept firing. This is another really good quote where it says, "A big shot is simply a little shot that just kept on shooting." You know, so just keep shooting, 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 because it's a guarantee. It's your success is guaranteed if you just do what it takes to achieve it and do what it takes to learn through the areas that you're having difficulty in. You know, so yeah, really powerful stuff, Joe. I'm glad that you addressed those things.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad too, because it's real, and I feel like a lot of people here are just starting as well, or been in maybe a few months, and I know what it's like, and um, you know, like Jason, even, I mean, 10 years and you're still hearing some, you still hear no's, but it's as you grow, as self-development, in your mindset, right, your belief system, as you grow in your skill sets, all these things, you begin to just see things differently. You begin to push through things differently, you begin to respond a little bit differently. And so we all have to go through a process, right? Process of development, in order to really to grow. So a couple of other things that I wrote down that I do on a daily basis, that you could implement. So obviously you're writing names down for prospecting. How many names are you going to reach out to every day? How many new names? What's the number? If you want, write them down in the notes. What's the number that how many people, how many new prospects, warm or cold, are you going to reach out to a day? And real quick, everybody else who commented, I did read them. Really good, pointers, and thank you for being honest in some of the things you struggle with. And so Karen said 5 a day. Awesome, 5 a day. So, okay, cool. Realistic number, 5. A day adds up at the end of the week. So that's something that you could have that in your mental note. So you know what? Oh, I want to reach out to one today. You know what? Before 5 o'clock or before 8 o'clock, I still have 4 more people to talk to. So whatever it takes, I'm going to get it done, right? So that's a goal of yours. Also, I have a health page. So not everybody has a health page, but it's for a targeted audience. The targeted audience of this Instagram health page is for health people, not necessarily entrepreneurs, but it's more people who are really interested in health, vegans, holistic people. Anyway, one of the goals is to post 3 to 5 posts a day about Kangen, right? If you have a page, awesome. If you want to create one, we could help you create one, on Instagram or on Facebook. And then also like a lifestyle post on Facebook. So every day I implement that. Every day I try to aim to have at least once, minimum, at least one person on a webinar or a Zoom. So a private Zoom with me and Jason, whatever, or Chris, or on that webinar that we have, Jay, would you say that someone always told you that if you've made if you got nobody on a Zoom, or if you had no meetings with anybody, you're basically unemployed?
Yeah, actually, I learned that from Dad, where if you don't have any prospects, you haven't spoken to anybody that day. I mean, that is our business, and if you haven't, then you're pretty much unemployed that day. That was the mentality that he would tell me. Joy, could I share a story really quick about global convention, because we were talking about that mindset and that bulletproof mindset. Well, I was one of the global conventions in Vegas that we had. I brought some prospects to the global convention. One of them was a person who just had probably one of the worst mindsets have ever encountered, you know. And he actually came to the convention, and he sat through one of Daniel DeMacali's demo, because they always have like a one night where you get to bring guests. So I brought this guest and the wife is so fired up. And then after seeing the demo, we went to go walk outside. I wanted to talk to them, and I was pretty much giving a lot of social proof, telling him all these great things about the business. And he just kept saying, "You're just telling me these things because you want to sell me." I'm like, "I'm not telling you these things because I want to tell you. I'm telling you these things because I know these things to be true. Like, these are facts that I'm telling you, you know." And he kept giving me rebuttal. Rebuttals, and I just kept firing back with like a positive note. There's really nothing he could say that was like a negative comment that I didn't have a solution for. And I brought him, actually while we were walking, I wanted to introduce him to someone successful. So I took one of the, I introduced him to Eli Dafish. If you guys don't know Eli, he's the one who always does the Saturday training calls every morning. And I introduced him to Eli, and Eli was like, "Wow, you know, you're really a lucky guy to be here with Jason, you know." And then the guy was just staring at the floor, and he's just shaking his head like this. He was like, "You're trying to sell me and my wife," and that's all he could think about, is that like he's trying to be sold. He's trying to be sold. Like, forget about any of the positive things of what the water does or what the business does or seeing the checks and all these successful people. All he could think about is that these guys are trying to sell me, you know. And he just kept looking at the floor, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is totally embarrassing me in front of Eli." And I was like, "Let me just get this guy out of here." I was like, come with me. We'll go take a walk." And then I brought him outside because he was making me look bad in front of someone that I really respected, you know. So, yeah, you know, I mean, that's just the difference of a self-defeating mindset that keeps people in the place of position that they are in. You know, if you can't grow out of that, you'll never leave that position in life. You know, so it's so important to grow. And to a degree, I was also very skeptical myself when I was younger, before I even got into business. You know, I was a very, very I need to see it to believe it. You know, and now I know there's two different types of people. You have the people who need to see it to believe it, and then you have the people who believe it and then they'll see it. You know, and it's those people who have the ability to believe in the unknown are the ones who are able to see it, you know, because that's what faith is, you know. And without that faith, without that belief that you can succeed, you can never succeed. Because every single person who's ever reached any type of success had to believe that they can achieve it before actually obtaining it, you know. So the very first step is believing, you know. So the people who can't believe until they see will never see, you know, because you don't see it first and then obtain. You don't get the results first, you know. You have to believe first and then you get the results.
Right.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Nelly.
That's also why I was saying earlier with the writing down of our goals, if you've written something down in the past, to not, don't downgrade yourself, because that faith that Jason's talking about, when you, let's say like you wrote that down in the past to reach that really high goal that's up there, and you're feeling like unmotivated, like, oh man, like I don't think I could achieve that yet, or whatever it is, something in you believed that you could. So don't don't erase it. Just plan accordingly to move closer and closer every day.
Awesome. Amen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have just like quick few things that I wanted to say. If I know a lot of people have videos, right? We have videos that we share, right? The demo video, the comp plan video. So I shared this a long time ago. I mean, I think a lot of you guys do it already, but just to kind of like say, if some of you haven't, it helps to create a YouTube channel just for Kangen, where you organize all the videos. So you don't have to go searching on where, because when I first started, I was like looking for through my texts, through group chats, like, where's this video that he sent me? 5 days ago, I'm going, and it just helps to have it all there. So if you want to know how to do that, it's really simple. You just create a YouTube account, and you basically would just save, the videos to the account, and you could put them underneath categories. One category could be Kangen demos, one could be Kangen testimonies, so that you have a reference. So I know a lot of you guys ask me, hey, do you have a Kangen video on someone with, diabetes? Really, you could just type in Kangen water and diabetes in YouTube, and you'll see a list of things, and you just kind of feel out which one works the best for you. But so for the next time, you don't forget, you just save it, and it'll save to your personal YouTube, account, and then you have it, and throughout the week, you just kind of build your own, thing of videos for different things. So that becomes a lot easier, a lot not wasted time, with all that. The other thing Nelly and Jason made couple of months back that they gave out was the scripts. So maybe if you want to put in the comments, if you don't have a script. So basically there's a script for speaking to new prospects. So sometimes you don't know what to say, right? So you have something to like start a conversation. So we have a sheet on that. And we also have a sheet on objectives, how to handle objectives. So if you really want that, just said, hey, I would like to get that, and then I know Jason and Nelly have it. We'll be able to send it to you, on the WhatsApp. All right, and everything else I pretty much mentioned about writing names down and daily action plan. So all these things like take into account of trying to be successful and having a successful day, week, reaching your goals. So yeah, Karen said, yes, I would like that. So, okay. All right, Karen. So we'll get you a script. I'll send it to you. JJ, I don't think I have your number. So maybe.
Could you put the link to the Google Drive on?
What's that? Okay. You know what? I'll just do that. That makes it a lot easier. I'll just put it on the WhatsApp right after this, and you guys can grab it. Cool.
It's actually a Google Drive. You could also access it on 6asuccess.com. It's on the Start Here section on 6asuccess.com. You'll see like a download link where you'll be able to download the full Google Drive that's got a bunch of different PDFs in there. It's got a bunch of scripts. It's got the Kangen water therapies. It's got it all on there. But Joey, if you could just drop the link on that on the WhatsApp, then everyone could just hit the link and grab everything.
All right, cool. You got it. So thanks, guys. So that's it for today.
Awesome, guys. Joey, Chris, that was fantastic, man. Thank you for sharing all that stuff. I mean, those are definitely kind of key elements to success. A lot of stuff that I went through myself, and we've actually discussed many times that you guys implemented and was able to produce some great results for it. And now you're teaching it. So truly, guys, when you learn from the people that are doing it, you're able to produce the same results. So keep asking questions. Plug in, ask any questions you have for me in the WhatsApp group. Ask Joey or Chris, or in the Facebook group that you're in. Ask him there. You know, don't go out throughout your business without chiming in and asking for some help, because that's what we're here for. We want to see you guys succeed. Alrighty, guys. Chris, Joe, thank you so much.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you. Yes, it was good.
Tonight. We'll see you guys in Zooms and Faith and Biz next Wednesday, right, Joy?
Yep. Yeah, next Wednesday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Great training.
God bless. Have a great evening, guys.
Bye,
All right, guys. Have a great night.
All right, King and fam.
Good night.
Good night.